Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunattu Sakaviryan Karavavakai Tejasvina Vadidamastu Ma Vidvijavakai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tassate. Om Sargasthiti Pralayahedum Achinta Shaktim Vishveshwaram Vidida Vishwam Anandamurtim Nirmukta Bandhanam Abharasuga Amburashim Sri Vallabham Vimalabhotakanam Namami Yasya Prasadat Ahameva Vishnuhu Mayyeva Sarvam Parikalpidam Cha Ittam Vijanami Sadatnurupam Tasyankri Patmam Pranadosmi Nityam. Om. Namaskaram. So we are in the last part of the Vaakyavriti. Vaakyavriti is a text by Bhagavad Padar to elaborate the lakshana, the vritti of the meaning of the maha. Mahavakya means a sentence which gives the ultimate purpose of the Purushartha. What is the ultimate purpose of the Purushartham? That is, what is the ultimate Purushartham? What is Purushartham? Purushartham is the goal. What is the goal of life? Very simple, we say, to be happy. So happiness is the goal, but the happiness that we define, that we see, that we seek in things eventually proves to be not perpetual, not permanent. Therefore, the happiness that is coming and going causes more grief. Imagine somebody is hungry, he resigned to the fact that he's going to starve to death, and then you show him a piece of bread in front of him. So the sight of bread itself is happiness for him. But then you take away the bread, don't give it to him. So that the stress now is more. Therefore, the happiness that we seek in life actually is dukkam parading like happiness, as Patanjali says. But then, what is the goal? That happiness should be therefore perpetual, absolute bliss, eternally blissful, peaceful, fulfilled, paripurnatvam, whatever you want to call it. And the word that Veda coined is moksha. Therefore, the Mahavakyam should be the Vakyam that reveals the moksham. It must be the moksha sadhanam. But then what does it give? It gives the Tattvamasi as a Mahavakyam, one of the Mahavakyas. It says, that is you. That means that the perfect happiness you are seeking is you. The perfect happiness could be the truth, or it could be the God. It could be the Ishvara. The God is something which we all look up to, right? We don't know what God is, what form it is. We imagine many forms, but heart of heart we know. I go to the God because God has got Shaktiman. He is powerful. He grants things. he will make me somehow happy. Vedas tell you he doesn't need to make you happy because he is happiness and you are him. Therefore, you are happiness. So if any sentence that says that, it is a Mahavakya. But we don't take the sentences from anybody's mouth because our Purusha Tantram, that means the manually interpreted words, may have the bias. Therefore, we get to Agamas Vakyas, Nigamas Vakyas, Vedas Vakyas. Therefore, the Veda Vakyas that tells you that you are that is Mahavakyas. Of course, this is what we say by the Acharyas of the Advaita Vedanta. Some believe it is not so. Some believe, yeah, there is that God, but you are here. You can seek happiness from him. If he is happy, who? If God is happy about you, he will grant you happiness. We don't agree to that. If God, why should God be happy or unhappy with us? If I don't pray to God, is he going to be unhappy with me? What kind of God he is? So therefore, praying is not to make God happy. Giving padarthas to God is not to make God happy. Because God is eternally happy. It is we that we are not happy because we don't identify ourselves with God. You understand? This required some courage. Courage in the sense that we have been educated, trained in certain beliefs, certain dogmas by our fathers, teachers. Now, Vedanta just swipes clean everything and it frightens us. But we have to take the step because, yes, that's the reason why Vedanta does not just goes by the Vedic dictum, but it allows you to question and use the Yukti Pramana. So the Shruti Vakyam is the basis. Your Anubhavam is the second important. And the reasoning is the third. In Vedanta, it's not like if you don't believe in it, you are not religious. We don't say that. If you don't believe in Krishna or Shiva, Amba, Jesus, you are not fit to be in this class. I can't say that. Vedanta doesn't say that. You can believe or not believe, but you must listen, experience it, realize it, and use a reasoning for it. So we have three different means to corroborate what we are understanding it. Listen first. Listening means listen carefully, understand it correctly, and contemplate. Then experience it. Then the experience gives you a contradiction. What I learned is not sitting with me. I go to this class and they tell me that I am happiness. I'm not happy now. My child is against me. My mortgage is pending. I am poor. I have so many problems. I'm not happy. What is this Vedanta telling me? I am God. I am happiness. Toss it. Don't toss it. Because now what you only got the second point. Second point is my experience is not meeting with this. Therefore, it is my inadequacy of understanding it is a problem. Therefore, what do? I do reasoning. That's why we go to Vedanta Shravana. We reason it. Veda says this, but I am not happy. Then when Vedanta tells you, well, when you say I am happy, I am not happy, it is not you that is happy, your mind that is happy. When the mind has got the bad news, the mind becomes sad. The mind gets the happy news, mind becomes happy. Therefore, when you say, I am happy, you actually mean my mind is happy. Like if I come and tell you, I am white, what I meant was my shirt is white. Then you say, no, you're not white, you are still a brown, your shirt is white. Well, that's what I meant. Well, but you didn't say it very well. You said, I am white, you are not. Same way, when I say I am sad, well, you are not sad. Well, my mind is sad. Yeah, that is correct. So Vedanta gives you this kind of reasoning steps. I think it's Mukund, I think, asked me, no, he comes with very probing questions, and he just asked me, why, uncle, why are you teaching all these things? What is the point of this? How many of us are really keen to observe this or even apply in life? I really like that question, because then I thought to myself, why am I sharing what a little I know? I like to share it because it gives me a mananam, it gives me an opportunity to rethink that. So why are you listening? Because you have an opportunity to think about, hear it first time or hear second time, and think about it. You may say, look, I'm not interested in redemption, I'm not in moksha, I am yet to be married, I'm yet to be making money. Yeah, they don't mutually contradict each other. In fact, the very reason you are in the world and transact with many things, you need this knowledge. Because this is not about God, is it? We talked about it just now. It is about you being happy, you being free. Happiness means you are free. The moment you are not free, the happiness is blemished. Is it not? So imagine that you like to be in a golden bed, surrounded by beautiful maidens massaging you all the time, giving food in a 5-course meal every time. All that makes you happy, and they give you all these things, put you in a room and lock the room. Are you going to be happy? Because you want to be happy when you are free. In words, you are happy when you are free. You are free when you are answerable to no one. Not even to a boss, a dharmakarta, a god who oversees it. Then it's a burden. Therefore, you don't reject God. You realize you are the God. You realize that I will be free and absolutely happy when I realize I am no different from God. Now, this is what Vedanta tells you. This is what Mahavakyam tells you. And why can't I learn it when I am in the early age of life? Therefore, when I am in a stress situation in friendship, in love matters, in families, in office and business, you realize that this is not something that affecting you, but it is affecting your performance. Performance is, after all, practice, rehearsing, and playing it. Therefore, you practice, rehearse, and play. Therefore, that's a question I given to Mukund now, but I think I give it to myself. Therefore, I don't feel guilty of sharing this, and you should not feel guilty of wasting your time, because it is actually enriching you. So, now we come to the real crux of it. In the 46th mantra we saw in the last class, because we already seen, to understand the identity, you must know who you are. For the Tvampata Vicharam we did. When the Guru says Tvam, you must say Aham, right? Tvam says you say I. So the Aham Vicharam, Aham Pada Vicharam we did, we said, well, I'm not the body, mind. Therefore, I am an existence. I think the existence is going to exist forever. Therefore, I call it Sat. I know I exist. So there's an awareness. Therefore, I am a Chit. And I'm supposed to be happy. So if I'm not happy, I will solve it. But the happiness is my nature, I'm told. Therefore, I am Sat Chit Anandam. Then Raji goes through the same contemplation. She says, I am Sat Chit Anandam. Balaji, Lakshmi, Manimama. Everybody now understand I am Sat Chit Anandam. But we think I am this Sat Chit Anandam, you are that, you are that. So we are 3 different, 4 different, 5 different, infinite. There are very many different Atmas we are. That's what we are thinking. Then Tatpada Vicharam we went through to Ishvara. This one we cannot experience it, we cannot use it by logic. We should go to the Shruti Vakyas. So we took the Shruti Vakyas, and Shruti Vakyas said Ishvara is eternal existence, universal existence, like you are. Therefore, that is Sat. It is omniscient. It is knowing everything. You only know, what you learned. So if I take everybody's knowledge and add it together, it's a collective knowledge, universal knowledge. That is God. So we call it Jnanam. Satyam Jnanam. Then it's infinite. Anantam. So on one side we had Tvam, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Other side is Tat, which is Sat, Jnanam and Anantam. Anantam means what? Without any boundaries. Without any boundaries means what? It is fulfilled. Fulfilled means was tripti, paripurnatvam. When it is completely fulfilled, there's nothing else other than you to decide for. If there's no desire, there's no ragadvesha, there's no happiness, sadness. You are tranquil, blissful. Therefore, the anandam is anandam. So just by looking at the keywords in the reasoning, I can see they are exactly the same. X equals Y, 4 plus 5, here's 3 plus 3 plus 3. The result is exactly the same. So the reasoning gives us some understanding. But then the Shishya asks the question, how does the Tattvamasi Vakyam itself means this? Because you say all these so many words you said, I can understand the reasoning. But just by the word Tat Tvam Asi, the 3 words, how do I infer this knowledge? So that way we said, if you do the Vakyartam, the word meaning, it contradicts. So that's what he's going to say. Pratyak praksho parokshavidakasya sadvidiyatva purnata vrudyate yatas tasmat lakshana sampravartate. I think now he is giving a very general statement. This is not Vedanta. He is giving etymological process. Because now he is coming to, he is a teacher now. He is now teaching, okay, you want to learn why this sentence means this? I'll give you the reason for it. Lakshana. Lakshana means the process of inferring. A definition, a description, a process. So what is a process? The Lakshana sampravartate, the Lakshana here is the lakshyarta. The inner meaning is taken when there is a reason for that. If you take pratyak and parokshat, pratyak means what is directly. And this we saw in the last class, I'm repeating it. What is nearby? What does he mean by that? Tvam. I am very nearby. So taking me, which is pratyak, parokshat. Parokshat means something which is far away. God is for me is far away, right? Whenever you say, "Oh, I pray to God," you look up there because see, we position himself too far away from us. So how can you compare something which is very close and something very far? They are distant apart, time apart. How can it be? So there is a contradiction there. Plus, Purnata Sadvidiyatva. Sadvidiyatva. Vidiyatva means that is spread independently. Sadvidiyatva means many like this, many homogeneous part. Like that is one apple, two apple, three apple, four apple. Sajadi. So many apples, so many fruits, so many men, so many women, so many jivarasi. So Satvidiyatva means there are so many of these unique characters there. How do you compare that with something which is Ekatvam, Purnatam? How can you compare this? Compare with the whole with the individuals. Because if you compare this Purnata Ekasya, the single completeness, you compare these individuals, Vrityate, there is a contradiction comes in. Naturally it comes in. There he says, Tasmat, therefore, Yataha, for those sentences, Lakshana Samvartate, you must take the inner meaning. This is what we saw in the last class. So there is no contradiction in this statement. So when this sentence is not making sense to you, you can either discard it or you should understand there must be an intended meaning to this. And how do I find the intended meaning is what he is saying. So this was in the last class. So in this class, we are going to look at the 47 and 48. What is he saying here? Manantra virodhetu mukyartasya parigrahe mukyartena avinabhute pradidir lakshanyochate. Lakshana uchyate. Manantra virodhetu. When you are analyzing a sentence, how are you analyzing it? Mukyartasya parigrahe is very important. Mukyartam means, Mukhya means important. Here Mukhya means the word meaning, direct meaning. Mukyartasya parigrahe. Parigrahe means taking. When you are taking the Mukyartam, when you take the direct meaning of the word, what happened there? Mana antara virodetu. Manam means pramanam. Pramanam means any other experience, any other knowledge, any other means to knowledge. If in case there is an uncertainty, contradiction, inconsistency with the evidences seen because of the other pramana. So I close my thing and I smell jasmine. So this pramana is smelling jasmine. So if I smell fragrant jasmine, I close my eyes and smell it. So I'm using an organ of sensation, smelling. My indriyam is telling me and giving me a knowledge that there is jasmine around it. I open the eyes. I look at the eyes, I see a rose flower in front of me. So there is, pramanam is now Pratyaksha pramana is the seeing with the eyes. But there is a virodham. So now that means my idea of jasmine flower blossoming in front of me is contradicted. This is not. This is what it means. So when you get knowledge from one source, but the same idea is inferred to you in a different way, another pramana gives you in a different way, then there's a contradiction. Maybe the second perception may be also wrong. So you need to find. So you need to analyze now the means of knowing. So it says, then the process is, the lakshana is, you must take the meaning which is clearly showing from these words, pratiti. That means the words are reflecting something with another meaning, but still connected to the word meaning. Avina bhute means, not avina. Avina bhute means separated. Avina bhute means not separated. That means you have to take another meaning which is not completely disjoint to the word meaning. It's just a common sense, but he's elaborating it very well. I'll give you an example. So suppose I say, I am in the sky. So therefore, if you imagine that I am with the wings flying, no, then you will now say the word meaning does not tell me I cannot be in the sky. Then you will think I must be in the aircraft. I am flying. So you can't say I am in the ocean because I am in the sky doesn't make sense to me, because he cannot fly, but he can very well swim in the sea. Therefore, I think it is a sea. No, that's wrong, because sea cannot have anything to do with flying. So it's a vina bhute. But we say avina bhute, it has to be a relation to that. So sky means flying. That means he may be in an aircraft. But this is better understood if you have a knowledge. The knowledge is that Raja is going to go to Singapore or somewhere. So you know that he's going to fly, going to go travel somewhere. Now he says, I am in the sky. That means he's in the aircraft. So now what you've done, your brain has so fast worked out. The mukyartham is not direct meaning, doesn't make sense. Therefore, I must take another meaning of it. That meaning should not be completely disjoint to the main meaning. You get the point. So it is nothing complex, but it is just telling you this. So for that, he is now giving another general principle in the rule. I think we saw it in the Tattvabodha, in Patanjali Yoga Sustram, and also in Balaji's classes. But this is just quickly to recap. When you are doing this process of giving up the Vakyarta, see what we learned from the last sloka, Bhagavan gave a rule. When you listen to any sentence, when you read any sentence, especially you're talking about the scriptures and sastras, your first priority should be to just take the meaning as it is. Don't bring your own ideas into this. You are not allowed to do it. Like Veda Bhashyam by Sayana. When Sayanacharya wrote the Veda Bhashyam, he wrote it just simply. He did not introduce any intellectual inferences to that. That's not the purpose. He took it as a instruction manual. When you read, when I worked in some industry, defense industry, when you take the operating manual, they are very simple, straightforward instructions, very unambiguous, less adjectives, straight to the point. So you must always take the word meaning. But the word meaning is not sitting well with your experience because another knowledge is giving you a contradiction to it. Then you should look for the lakshyarta. Now he is giving, how can I do the lakshyarta? So he's saying, Tattvamasyadi vakyeshu lakshana bhagalakshana soyam ityadi vakyasta padayoriva napara. Very simple, but I'll explain very simply for you to understand. Tattvamasyadi vakyeshu. Tattvamasi, adi, etc. Vakyeshu, in those vakyas, in the sentences. In all those sentences like Tattvamasi, lakshana means what? The process of deriving the intended meaning, the meaning that we need, is a method called bhagalakshana. Bhagalakshana means, bhaga means part. Take part of it. What about the other part? Sacrifice it. So you were saying bhaga tyaga lakshana. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant shortly bhaga lakshana. So he is giving you a method called bhaga tyaga lakshana. That means you only take what you need, you give up something else. I don't understand this. Then he gives an example. Soyam ityadi vakyasta. The tattvamasyadi vakyeshu is shastra vakyam. Soyam, it's a colloquial phrase we use. Ityadi, in sentences like that. Vakyasta. Padayoho eva. How do you interpret that? Napara. No other way. Only that way. So what is soyam means? Soyam means it contains two words. Saha, I am. Saha means that, or that man. I am means this or this man. Sometimes you say, oh, that man, this man, that is this. You say, right? That is this. Tell me, give an example. Okay, they say normally Devadatta, so I try to make it simple. So Lakshmi sees Saraswati in Bombay 20 years back. Then she sees in London now. She completely changed. She more mature, more elegant, more old in age. But then she realizes, hey, that Saraswati I saw in Mumbai 10 years back, the same one now in London. But he looked very different. He looked rich and old and happy and comfortable. Those days I saw you very worried, young person. Are you the person? Are you the same? So now you can ignore all other sentences. Bombay, many years back, rich, poor, happy, all that you can give. Are you the same? You are the same. Now what is that? Is you. So now if you know the context, all of the words are not necessary to find the conclusion of it, is it not? So what you have done, you have given up all those things. I don't care about Bombay 10 years back, time, space, happy, all that I live. I have did a tyagam of those meaning. But what I hold on to it, that and this, that Saraswati is this Saraswati, that is this. Tattvamasi. Oh, you Tattvamasi. You are that. So that is Bhagat Tyaga Lakshana. So it actually comes in two parts. Sometimes you only give up something. Sometimes you take both. So when you give up something, it's called Jaga Lakshana. Jaga means you give up. Ajaha Lakshana means not giving. Sometimes you give the complete meaning, sometimes you take it. When you take both Jaga and Ajaga, Jaga Jaga Lakshana. Don't worry about all this. Use the word Bhagat Tyaga Lakshana. Another simple example. Summer season, I got Alfonso mango. I gave you one full mango. This is for you. And Yogesh just eats it. Where is the mango? I ate the mango completely. It's delicious. Now, when you say completely, I ate the mango, I don't intend to mean this man has eaten the skin of the mango, the seed. No. Obviously, you would have washed it, peeled it off the skin, and throw away the seed. So I can therefore assume a complete mango that he has eaten means I will sacrifice this thing that he will not eat automatically, right? This is called Bhagat Tyaga Lakshana. So he says, you do the Bhagat Tyaga Lakshana in this. So what is that I need to know between Ishvara and I? Go back to the example of Lakshmi seeing Saraswati. Saraswati is in Bombay 10 years back. And then he was a very stressed up individual that time. Now Saraswati is in London, 10 years senior, matured, composed, happy. Some gray hair comes, his form has changed. And also Saraswati says to Lakshmi, don't call me Saraswati anymore. I call myself Saras. So name also changed. But Lakshmi says, I don't care how you name, where you are, but you are the same person. And she will agree. So what she has sacrificed, time, space, the rupam, the gunam, the namam. See, nama, rupa, guna, visesha, kala, desha. All that you can sacrifice. Because the essence is Saraswati. Are you with me? So you have to follow it very carefully. So when I compare this, we take it so casually. I can argue at the time, hey, this cannot be the same person. Look at the photograph. I have photographic evidence. She was different. Now she looks different. And you'll say, stuff your photograph. I don't care. All your rational evidence, because they don't stand the scrutiny, because I know that is the unchanging personality inside. The nama rupa guna visesham, time space, is the transactional part of it. They come and go. They are mithyatvam. I don't care. This you and I do today. There is no need of Vedanta Jnanam, no need of all these grammatical inferences. Naturally, we know the tendency, we know how to choose the truth from the untruth. Choose the satyam from the mithyatvam. Because when we come to Vedanta, we somehow think, it's very, very difficult. Guru compassionately comes and reminds you simple sentences like soyamiti. You use it every day. Understand? So, therefore, we have to give up. What we have to give up? God is big. How can I be God? God makes everything else. I make nothing. I make this upma for lunch, or maybe I build this little castle in my back garden. Nothing I can do. Then even God makes everything by himself. I have to buy. I need to buy building blocks. I need to order to Amazon and put it together. I don't create anything. And I am not happy. I'm not all knowledgeable. He is somewhere far away. Now, you see all this list, when the people who say no to this maha vakyas, no to the Advaita Anubhuti, sadhana vakyas, they all say, no, you cannot be. God is Kalyana Swarupa and Sarguna, Kalyana Guna Rupina, Vishwarupasi, Sagasa Srisha Purushaga. I am a little, no, to reinforce his thought. Everybody, all the great devotees, great scholars worship to God and say, I am like your dust particle on your feet. No, I am so sinner. I'm so limited. Now, all that is not said in truth. All that is said in a bhavana, that in this bhava of jiva, I am impoverished. I am suffering because I have the suffering in my mind, and I do not know that I am you. Therefore, taking me who I am therefore small. Granted. So the cry is fine. So what is the best grace that God should give you when you cry like that? You cry to God and say, look, I have this disease or I have this problem. Why are you making me suffer? Please help me. And what if you expect God to come and remove that disease or solve the problem, you are happy. You go back. Then you find another problem, you come back. This is Vakya. This is samsara. So all those great jnanis also go through this. Jnanis is, jnanam is the pinnacle of devotion. When the devotion becomes one with God, then it is true bhakti. Before that, bhakti is just an act of being a dasa. Jnanam is an act of being a learner. But bhakti and jnanam is no different when you are completely realized that who you are. So that's why Arunaginadhar, Tiruppugal, everybody sings Tiruppugal. I am happy to sing Tiruppugal. But all the Tiruppugals are about his struggle. He worried, I went there, I was going to all these women thinking they are giving pleasures, but I failed. Help me, help me, help me. So we also sing that. Fine. Even if I'm not doing like Arunaginadhar, I sing it. I don't mean that, because I'm in a different, when I go to different employers working and suffering, maybe that's similar kind of a thing. But we are all going in a kind of ajnanam, but it is necessary to do. But same Arunaginadhar, when you get that anubhuti, he sings Kandar anubhuti. And Manika Vashigar, when he crossed to the Vairagya stage, he says, Nayen, I am a dog, he says, Every time he says, I am a dog, I am a dog. In Shivapuranam, he says, he is me, I am him. The moment I know I am God, am I dog? No, I'm not. I am also a dog, but in the Srishti, but I am Parabrahma. So the Anubhuti Vakyam is what we have to really look up to. All this Vairagya Sadhakam, all this, Andal is singing all this part, all these songs, there are all Vairagya things. But there is Anubhuti Vakyam will be there, quoted inside, like Mahavakyams. So the differences need to be shed. So now I've given you the grammatical reasoning rule. You are qualified, liberated to drop the time, space, guna, nama, rupa constraints in equating two things. Therefore, I really don't need to care about what is God's name, God's form. Am I God? Am I Shiva or Vishnu or Durga or Murugan? Oh, don't care about the names. Am I the God with 10 hands, 15 hands? Don't care about the form. Think of Saraswati, young Saraswati and old Saraswati. Is the God sitting there in the heaven, Vaikuntham, Kailasham? Forget about Mumbai or London. Space not important. Is it that on the day before I born? Forget the time. Then what is the essence I'm comparing? So I want to just quickly take you to this Panchadasi. Panchadasi is by, let me see what's the time, by Vidyaranya. Vidyaranya Swami, I think we may have another session for Vidyaranya himself is a great scholar. You know, I don't know if it's a fortunate or unfortunate thing, but in Sanatana Dharma, great Acharya's life is always in a mystery. You know, when you look at it in a chronological fashion, like a diary, who he was born to, then you have contradictions come through. So same thing, there are contradictions for him. You know, one theory is that he is a Vidyaranya Swami who was the Sringeri Acharya once, who wrote the Madhavi Shankar Digvijayam, this Panchadasi and all that. And he is the one who gave the instruction to another Madhava and Sayana, his work, and they wrote the Sayana Bhashyam and Madhava's Mimamskam and all that. You can find these things in the public domain, and we can talk about it in some other class. But this is a Mahatma, Vidyaranya. He has written this Panchadasi. Panchadasha means 15. So Panchadashi means 15 chapters. Again, he divided into three big sections. First has got 5 chapters, second 5 chapter, third 5 chapter. First one talks about the Sat, second 5 talks about the Chit, third talks about the Ananda. Massive work. So deep, so thing. It's kind of a, I would say it's like a karika for Shankar Bhashya, we can say that. So it basically expands this one. In these three shlokas I picked up, I think, which reveals what we are discussing. Jakato yatu patanam maya madhaya tamashim nimittam shuddha shastatvam tamuchyate brahma tadgira. Jagato yatu patanam maya madhaya tamasi nimittam shuddha sasatvam tamuchyate brahma tadgira. What he's saying is, I took the 3. The first one, he talks about the tat in the macrocosm, in the whole material universe. Everything is created. The world is created. Universe is created, and we think God created the universe. Tick. Yes, God created the universe. Therefore, He is a creator. The creating cause is called the efficient cause or nimitta karanam. The instrumental cause or efficient cause. Who created this with his intellect and power and tools? God. Correct. How did he create? It contains nickel, cadmium, plasma, oxygen, air, fire, water. There are so many things are there. How does he create all these things? Did he buy from anywhere? Was it there somewhere outside him? If it is outside him, then the whole argument collapses. Then who created those outside things? It has to be God. Therefore, we are talking about the pre-creation. This itself is a wrong notion, but we go by this. Therefore, the God has to create the universe from himself or herself. You can put any gender to it, or from itself. So here, therefore, he is the material cause, upatana karanam, and he is the instrumental cause. Who says it? Veda says it. Can I reasonably assume this? Because science goes by cause and effect. Therefore, science is stumbling. It doesn't know what is the first cause. Therefore, it is still searching for it. But it stops there with no answer. Yes, there must be something who created it. So we call it God. Okay? So that is the first. So in Mundaka Upanishad, it gives the example of a spider. How does a spider create the web? It creates the saliva from its body, and then it weaves it into fabric, and then lives in the center. It goes to the center, and then it traps everything else. So like that, Ishvara creates the whole universe with his net of Maya, traps everything else, and then so it's just an example. So how does he create this part? Without Brahman is all pervading it. How does it do it? Then comes the imagination of Vedas. I say imagination because we are still learning that. It says the Brahman has got this glittering Shakti around it, the radiating Shakti into it. Imagine as a mirror, and into which it looks into it. So I'm not going into the detailed discussion right now, but I'm just giving a cause effect of it. So when you look at itself, or that pure, absolutely translucent, reflective surface of its power, we call it Shadva. In the Sattva of Prakriti, Prakriti is the power of Shiva, Ishvara, Brahma, so Brahman. When it looks into Sattva, the universe is a power of creation comes in. It looks at it and say, I have the power to create. The efficient causes come in. Then the Prakriti shows tamas. Sattvam, when it shows Shuddha Sattvam, Brahman has to look at his face and say, oh, I can create. When it shows tamas, the tanmatras comes in. Tanmatras means the finest elements of creative material comes in. From the tanmatras through Panchikaranam, so many other things came in. So Panchabhutas came in. Now there are two things that are created. And Ishvara, who is the image of the Brahman and the Shadva Prakriti, Shuddha Prakriti, and the materials, which is the Ishvara, Brahman's image on the Tamasic. Sattvam creates the Ishvara, Tamasic creates the Jagat. I mean, the materials of it. So Ishvara now says, she just witnesses it. It creates whole universe. So it is how it is created. This is like how Saraswati was in Bombay with Yang and all that. All these things are unnecessary for us. We are focusing on Saraswati, but we are talking about here how Saraswati lived in Bombay, how he suffered, all kind of stuff we are talking about it here. Then in the next mantra, in the Panchadasi, it says, Yata malina sattvam ta kama karmadi dushitam adate tatparam brahma tvam padena tadochyate. Yata malina sattvam tam kama karmadi dushitam adate tatparam brahma tvam padena tadochyate. That means now what happened was sattvam is there, tamas is there, they are pure. because of tamas has come and sattvam has come, some of the tamas has moved the sattvam, and sattvam becomes a malina sattvam. Malina means blemished. Sattvam is the purest of the gunas. Tamas is the inertia. The inertia means inert. Pure means it's all intelligence, all awareness. When this inertness somehow merge with this pure awareness, then you have a bungled awareness, a blemished awareness. The awareness creates activity. It's called malina sattvam, which is the cause for rajas. So with the malina sattvam coming in there, the jivas create. The reflection on the malina sattvam becomes jiva. The consciousness in the blemished sattvams become jiva. What is this? This is a reflection. Reflection of what? The Brahma. Brahman is not malinam. Brahman's image goes into the malina sattvam. The sun is pure. The sun's reflection in the gutter, does it make the sun impure? No. The gutter is now luminant, and you can see the sun under the gutter. Do you call the sun therefore dirty? No. Is the gutter image different from the sun? It is different in the sense it is small in size, it is shaking. And there are so many images like that. In every gutter there is an image. Therefore, there are so many images of the same sun, but they are in a different gutter or in Ganges. Like Mani in Manisha Panchakam, Bhagavan says this. So, now in these two verses, Panchadasi has explained to us the effect, the Srishti Karanam, how Brahman become Ishvara, become a controller of the Maya, the Prakriti, and the creator of the world, and how Brahman, underline the word, how Brahman becomes the Jiva with the Malina Sattvas, with the Rajas coming in, and then you become, Rajas means discriminating intellect, dividing it. Who am I? You are different, I am different. Looking at differences, It is a natural, that's why our natural quality is differences. That's why we get confused, afraid to be in complete darkness and complete light. In complete darkness, what happened? You cannot find differences. In complete brightness, you can't find differences. The Rajas is now struggling. My God, I am afraid now. Because I need to find something different than me. Because natural order shows everything different. Therefore, we choose the easy path. That's fine. You start with the easy path. Easy path is, I worship the tree, I worship this Lord, I worship that, I worship this. They are real. The world is real. Tomorrow is real. Today is real. My son is real. My father is real. So everybody, when they're gone, the reality is gone. Then I contradict myself. But that is samsara. So what is a cure? How does Tattvamasi therefore changes this thing? So he says in the third mantra, this is in the first chapter itself in Panchadasi, he says, Tritayim abhita muktva paraspara virodini akantam sachidanandam maha vakyena lakshate. See, in the first verse, he said, God becomes the material cause of the universe by association with the 5 tanmatras and the 5 gross elements. And he become the instrumental cause by association with the Shuddha Tattvas. Association means by reflecting it, by looking at it. Why he recorded it is a different question. We go some other time. So, Ishvara is Brahman, reflected Brahman on a Shuddha Shaddvam. The Jagat is Brahman in tamasic. That's why a stone or mountain or a hill or a tree doesn't have emotions that we see. It is in tamasic nature, inertia. So the whole universe, therefore, is Brahman in a tamasic mode. So Isha Vasyam Idagum Sarvam. Everything is divine, it comes now because it's Brahman. But it is in a tamasic nature. Therefore, it doesn't talk to me. So when I put the water to the plant, I am feeding the Brahman. The water doesn't thank me. Doesn't matter because it is tamasic in nature. Understand? So it has got life. In the next one we saw that you are becoming a jiva because you become associated with the malina sattvam. Therefore, rajasic activity comes in. You see differences. There are so many devas. So jadiyam. But in this process, what Panchadasi has given us from Vedas, that the same Brahman becomes Ishvara, the same Brahman becomes a universe. Who causes this? The Brahma Shakti. How did she cause it? I call it now she, because just to differentiate that, she is a Shakti. She was spreading as the beautiful web of Maya, so shining, so luminous, so reflective. So when the Brahman looks into the Maya, Brahman becomes a Ishvara. And because of Shuddha Maya, Ishvara is controlling the Maya. But in the Ashuddha Malina, in the Malina Shaddvam, when the reflection falls again, it becomes Jiva. That the Malina Shaddvam is called not Maya, it's called Avidya. So I'm throwing a lot of words, but easy to understand. Shakti is Brahma Shakti, and she is Maya when she is Shuddha Sattva. Pure reflective power of Brahma is Maya. So she is the cause of the creation. Jagat Karani, Jagat Mohini. But after the creation, she also creates a Malina Sattvam where the inertia and the consciousness bundle together to create a confused state of activity. And that's also a power. It's called avidya. In the avidya, we all create ourselves. Okay? So Tritai Mahapita Muktva, all the three factors may be abandoned. Now what we have to do? Now we got two things. Brahman as Ishvara and Jiva, and Jiva here. So I'm not, if I'm comparing myself to this Brahman, what should I compare? I should only compare the essence of it. I should only compare the Saraswati that Lakshmi knows, not the young Saraswati, Bombay Saraswati, 10 years before Saraswati, particular dresser. No, all that is just an attribute because she happened to be in Bombay. She happened to be wearing that dress. She happened to be having that name. She happened to be have that thing. But she is Satya. Right. Same way, here I will give up the Malina Sattvam, give up the Rajas, Tamas, Tamo Gunas, Sattva Gunas, and Rajoguna because the Gunas are the attributes of Maya Shakti. Therefore, if I remove the Maya, that means my avidya is gone from me, Maya is gone from Ishvara. Ishvara does not exist because she becomes Brahman. I don't exist, I become Brahman. Therefore, Ahameva Brahman, Tattvamasi. I give two other examples to make it clear. Imagine I'm standing in the middle of the sea and I draw a 1 meter circular radius around it. So this is me. And I say, God is the whole universe, or the God is the whole sea. So the fictional circle is the sea. Imagine the sea is dried up, circle is gone. There is no. Even better example which Vedas gives you is Ghatakasam and Mahakasam. You take I have this cup here. The cup is empty. Inside the cup there's a space, and outside there is a space. The Ghatakasam is the space inside this mug. So I asked the question: is the space inside the cup different from the space outside? What do you say? It has to be, because this is small space. This space is not more than enough. Why it is small? Because of cup. The cup is not the space. Agree? So I break the cup. Well, when you break the cup, there is no space. That means, what happened to the space in the cup? It becomes one with the Mahakasha. So what happens to me if I realize it? That means you are no different from the Brahman. Tattvamasi, you are that. You see, this is how it takes it. So, okay, one more I finished, and I'll take the. If it is a case, what I become, I am sitting there, I am contemplating on this concept. All the examples given, all the lectures given, someday means to me reasonable. Therefore, the reasonable condition I have reached means I have no doubt. I don't need to go and ask questions. So my only issue right now is, intellectually I am convinced. My mananam is complete. But what do I have to do? Somehow I don't have that feeling. I don't feel that I am there. That's the reason why you need a guru, because you were never able to say that. The guru will say, Tattvamasi, you are that. And when that realization dawns into you, you don't say Tattvamasi, you say Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Brahma. You use the word Aham very carefully, because the Aham doesn't exist anymore. When the cup is broken, the space in the cup doesn't exist anymore. But just to reveal to the world, you say Aham. See how Bhagavad Padal has started with the Tattvamasi, Vakyarta, Lakshanam, come down to this verse. This is the another Upadesam Mahavakyam, but they become Anubhuti Mahavakyam. He says, Aham Brahmedi Vakyartha Bodho Yavat Trudi Bhabhet Samadhi Sagitas Tavat Abhyesa Shravanathikam. Now he says, what's the point of me telling you all this? You have to now realizing it. So we will go into detail next class, but just briefly what he says, you do abhyasam. What's the point of telling you all this if you don't experience it, to attain it? So I'll tell you how to attain it. You listen to all this, contemplate, and make sure that you have no doubts intellectually. Now you do abhyasam. So one should practice abhyasam. How? By listening to the Vedanta Shravanam and contemplate. Shravanadikam. Shravanam Mananam. You must do Shravanam Mananam. I listen, think, ask question. Don't afraid to ask question. Please raise questions. Because more question you ask, more you attempt to learn. Otherwise, you leave this class, then you come back next Sunday, you have no connection to this idea at all. So we have to really persist on it. But then he comes with a very important point. So once you have no question, do I have to listen again? You can listen again because that's to reinforce that one. But you need to do nididhyasanam. You must be on that all the time. Because if you're not on that all the time, your mind will drag you away. Therefore, what you have to do, Bhavat, while doing that, samadhi sagita, so you must do practice your samadhi. Samadhi is not sleeping. Sama, dhamma, all this mind control, sense control. That means you must do all the anushtanas that you need to do to keep you in the right track. Just because you learned it, that you know it, and you can write an essay about the Tumasi, it could be a failure if you're not traveling in the route. It's just a key. The key alone doesn't, you need to go and open it. So to open the thing, you need to walk the path. The path should be the path where you are strong. How long I should walk? In yavat aham brahma iti vakyarta bodha. So until the time I can say aham brahmasmi, I have realized it. How does it realization comes in? Dhridi bhavat. Dhridi bhavat means you have to be very strong. So once you get that, no change. Siddha pragyan, nothing needs to change. Even God cannot change him anymore because he realized the soul. For him, karmas are not needed, world is not needed, nothing is needed. But he can still be in the world doing, actually, you and I, what I do, we do the same thing because he wants to show that by doing what you're doing, you attain it. That's what many Mahatmas live amongst us as an ordinary people to imparting this. Therefore, we should revere them, look for them. So when you seek, you see. Where do you seek? In satsangatve nisangatvam. In satsangatva, you see, you seek in satsang. So which is satsang? Wherever the satvishayas are discussed. What is satvishaya? Both who I am. So let us stop it here. Thank you. Om asadoma sadgamaya.
Om Asato Ma Saggamaya
Tamasoma jyotirgamaya.
Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya
Mrityoma amridam gamaya.
Mrityo Ma Amritam Gamaya
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti
Shanti Shanti
Hari Om Tatsat.
Shanti.
Sorry, I eat into 5 minutes of Balaji's time.
Oh, not worry. It's okay.
Thank you.
So you can
Thank you,
stop
Raja.
sharing. Yeah.